Santan is happening right near Kyrene. It's as you're making your way westbound this morning. We do not, unfortunately, have an ADOT camera there, but we can show you just the picture right before it and show you that you're not going to slow down as a result of it. That's the good news. Bad news is we still have this accident. I'm going to keep you posted on and let you know any more details as they come in, but 202 westbound and Kyrene is where that crash is happening. Again, that's a 202 Santan. We're hopping over to the 60. This is right near Mill Avenue. Great conditions out there this morning. Only slow spot on the 60 right now is right when you meet up with Loop 101, which is pretty, well, that happens anyway. I mean, right around transition ramp, guys, we know that it slows down. Other than that, everywhere else looking really clear, really nice. State Route 143.
All right, thanks very much, Emma. By the way, love that dress. Very pretty. 5:02 is your time right now. And checking some news for you this morning. The debate over immigration rages on this morning. A federal judge now blocking the president's plan to protect some undocumented immigrants from being deported.
It's a move and an issue sure to spark opinion and potentially be a major issue in next year's presidential election. Jackie Ochoa scanning through the judge.
Doug and Faye, this ruling is in favor of more than 24 states who have tried to block this. They have filed lawsuits against the president's executive order that went into effect, or that he announced back in November. This is
Actually arrested at Sky Harbor.
They would affect around 5 million people.
Offices. She was the lone
attorney is pursuing an insanity defense.
Well, fighting the rise of terror around the world will be the focus of a
federal judge to enjoin the president of the United States from doing something on his own.
Wow. So this, in terms of what it means for executive action moving forward, does it indicate to you?
It means that the Department of Homeland Security, which was to have implemented these changes today,
she'd been in custody for some violence.
working just from home instead of their offices since
% don't like how the president handles terrorism in general.
Stuart Farron, he was in that heated.
The step forward in this battle over immigration.
Includes Texas, will probably hear an emergency appeal from the government because the government had all of its regulations that it made up, which is where it violated the laws about how you
Make another comment on this judge's ruling later on this morning. Jackie Ochoa, 12 News.
All right, Jackie, thank you very much. 5:04 is your time right now. He was at the center of a controversial arrest involving an ASU professor for
especially if those workers have any access to the guests' hotel rooms.
I never got to get any life with him, you know.
is the paperwork. It's thorough, it's complete, and in my view.
Stuart Farron is resigning from the police department. Farron came under fire after this video. You might remember it. It showed him arresting ASU professor Ursula Orr for jaywalking and refusing.
We're here on Mill Avenue at Fat Tuesday, and we are going to be cooking up some good Cajun-style food in just a second. Let's look at your weather. It's going to be a nice one out there, 77 degrees.
We'll tell you what he's doing.
Testimony expected to continue today in the trial of a man accused of the fatal shooting of American sniper.
From 43rd over here is probably like 20 shots, and only one hit me right here.
Quake struck off the coast, a 6.9 magnitude quake, in fact, just northeast of that nation. No major damage to report, no injuries either. Of course, a lot of places there in Japan still cleaning up after that devastating earthquake and tsunami back in 2011.
We could do that, but then what next?
What do we do next?
These guys have to, you know,
Waking up to record low temperatures this morning, snow in Washington, D.C., forcing the federal government to close their doors today. But, you know, they do that even when they don't get a lot of snow. Well, the weather doesn't stop these firefighters, though. In Philadelphia, they battled 3 degrees.
We want to pledge allegiance to the leader of this group. The leader of ISIS is calling himself a caliph. That makes it easier for those who see themselves as religious-minded to pledge allegiance. And so it's an appropriation of the brand. If Al-Qaeda was the dominant group, the same group in Libya would be saying, oh, we're Al-Qaeda. Now they're saying we're ISIS. And they're learning the techniques. The thing that to worry about is that they're not just embracing the idea, they're embracing the techniques, the beheadings, the burning alive, the videos, the parading people in yellow jumpsuits. This is the thing that's worrisome. There's a sense of wannabes here, and the worry is that each of these groups will try to outdo each other to prove that we're better than those guys.
So you think that the people behind the beheadings that we saw, those were wannabes in Libya?
Yeah, and there has been a formal acceptance in this particular case. ISIS has
Drinking water. Residents are now being told to conserve water as emergency crews bring in tanker trucks. We'll keep you posted as this develops throughout the morning. And then it is Fat Tuesday. The streets of New Orleans ready for a big day of celebration. Taking a live look at Bourbon Street right now. It's a little bit quiet out there.
I'm Sandra Oswald.
I've never tasted anything like this.
More floats, costumes, and beads. The big party leading up to Ash Wednesday tomorrow. And, of course, the start of Lent. Those are your headlines. I'll see you back here in about a half hour.
We party today because tomorrow we pray.
Right. That's how it goes.
Thank you very much.
Good motto, Steve.
Thanks, Heather. Well, this morning, the White House is starting to get together in a White House summit to defeat terror, apparently.
No, we can't even say terror.
You can't say terrorists. See, I have
well,
a
they
hard
call
time
them
not
no, they
calling
call
a
them
spade
terrorists.
a spade.
They
You can call them terrorists, but they're going to refer to this entire movement as violent extremism. 60 nations in a 3-day summit will get together to discuss methods by which they can perhaps convert them by means of job training. Perhaps they'll get an internship and maybe be able to have them be people that are willing to be led.
By the way, even though we're not mentioning Muslims in this summit or Muslim extremism in this summit, CARE is already protesting.
Sure.
Yeah.
Said it brings up the wrong connotation.
Well, here's the thing. According to, and we're talking about these ISIS monsters. According to the State Department, these monsters should probably just go to monster.com because what they really need, and the reason they hate us, is they don't have jobs. Not making that up. Here's Marie Harf.
We're killing a lot of them, and we're going to keep killing more of them. So are the Egyptians, so are the Jordanians. They're in this fight with us. But we cannot win this war by killing them. We cannot kill our way out of this war.
An interim city manager at their meeting later.
Hastings and Hastings, we are the
And at Trilogy Golf Club in beautiful Vistancia.
How will you live the gig?
Poor people. There's always going to be poor Muslims, and as long as there are poor Muslims, the trumpet's blowing. They'll join. We can't stop that, can we?
We can work with countries around the world to help improve their governance. We can help them build their economy.
After the hour now in a mystery on Mars, as scientists look at a strange haze in areas.
And give them jobs.
Does she even know what she's saying? Here's the thing. No. If anyone studied Al-Qaeda and the reasons they joined, we don't interrogate or talk to anyone. But when we used to capture them, a lot of them, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed went to college, North Carolina A&T. You have bin Laden comes from a billionaire family. You have Muhammad Atta was a very well-off, upper-middle-class family. These guys weren't coming here and blowing things up because they had no money or opportunity. No. They're coming up because they subscribe to an extremist philosophy, and this is their best way to perpetrate their image.
That 3-day summit is more like a job fair now? How to establish a job fair.
Maybe we could blame ourselves
in the land
for
of
this.
terror.
Sure. Look, okay, so they need jobs. That's not right. They just want to kill us. But what's curious is the fact, and the White House isn't going to call it Islamic extremism.